Hi, my name is Shane Argo and I am the Managing Director at GradeMatter. My business partner Wiley and I have both worked at universities for many years, and during that time we have noticed that the calculation and moderation of final grades at the end of every session is extremely complex and stressful. For example, usually the student systems team has to export a bunch of spreadsheets from their system into a shared drive, and then the instructor will export a spreadsheet from the learning management system. The instructor will then have to ensure that it matches the course outline to calculate the final mark, and then manually assign a final grade to each student based on their final mark. Finally, they will need to copy the contents of the spreadsheet from one to the other. That is why we developed GradeMatter, to centralize and simplify this process. So here we are in the LMS. You can see that I have entered the assessment marks throughout the semester. When I am ready to submit my grades, I go to Submit for Final Review. At this point, we are in GradeMatter. You can see here on the left-hand side that we have the assessments which have come from the curriculum management system. So these are the assessments that are published in the course outline. We can see here the name of the assessment and the weight of the assessment. On the right, there are these drop-downs, and we use those to select the column from the gradebook. See here, we have the midterm exam column from the gradebook, the presentation column, and then the charter problem postgrad. If the instructor makes a mistake and selects the same column twice, we flag this and do not let them proceed until they have fixed it. When I click the tick in the top right-hand corner, what's going to happen is that our system will connect to the student information system, grab the data about all of the students from there, then go to the LMS and grab all of the assessment marks from these columns that we have selected, and then use the weightings to calculate a final mark for each student, and then assign an appropriate grade based on our flexible grading schemas. Let's do that now. And there we go, it has happened. Here we can see all of the marks that have been calculated, along with all of the grades that have been selected. On the right-hand side, we can see a grade distribution, as well as some basic statistics. You can see that we have flagged certain grades that are of interest. For example, Bernard is a borderline grade. We can see they are on 49, which means that one more mark and he would have passed. So we flag these students. If you want a quick way to identify the students that are flagged for whatever criteria, you can simply click over here on the right-hand side and it will filter down to the students that meet the flag criteria. So what we are going to do for Bernard is that we are going to adjust his mark. We are going to change it to a 50, and then we are going to justify the change. Okay, you can see that there are no more students matching that filter. So if we remove the filter, we can see here that Bernard has been put up to a pass. If we open Bernard up, then we can see that we have changed him from a 49 to a 50, and from a fail to a pass, and our justification. You can also use the bar up the top here to change the sorting of the data. So here we can see the students sorted by mark, or we can sort them by family name, given name, or student number. Our system is extremely flexible, so we allow certain grades or certain marks to have multiple applicable grades, with one assigned by default. So as an example, here we have Constance, who is on a mark of 44, which is by default a fail. But it may be appropriate to assign one of these other grades. This is all completely customizable by your institution. Some grades may allow the instructor to simply change that grade, where other grades may require them to justify the change. When I finish reviewing all of my marks and grades, and I am ready to submit, I can come up to the top right-hand corner of the screen and submit these grades. I can provide any final comments if necessary, and then I agree that these grades are true and correct to the best of my knowledge. Now the marks and grades have been sent for approval. I would like to finish by reading this quote from Dr. Daniel Brannan from Bond University. With the Grade Matter program, grading time has been reduced from 2.5 hours to 15 minutes, and all the stress and triple checking for errors has disappeared. I would like to thank you for watching, and if you would like to talk to us about how Grade Matter would work at your institution, please visit our website and request a demonstration.